Do you want to reach more audience? Do you want to go live once and go live everywhere and reach people who maybe don't watch lives? They don't have time to watch lives. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about how to really quite easily turn your live video into a podcast episode. It doesn't have to be that complicated. You do need to use some tools, and I'm going to show you the ones that I use, which I find a game changer. They're really, really good. So this live show is actually going on to a podcast, and it's going to be an interesting one because I'm going to be demoing on the screen what I'm doing, and I have to try and explain that to my podcast audience as well. So if you haven't subscribed to the Thrive with Live video podcast, Thrive with Live show, let's get it right. It's on Apple and pretty much everywhere. Do go and subscribe to that. Let me know in the comments if you want the link. Just type in #link and let's get on with it. So it's really easy to go live in loads of different places at once. You just have to do one training and you can go live to people who just don't have time to watch live videos, or they're driving in the car, and downloading a podcast is so easy, and they can just automatically get your updates and episodes. So that is really good as well. That is really even better than live video because they don't have to click on each individual live video to see when you're going live, but it automatically downloads on their phone. So what's fantastic about that? And they can easily binge listen to your podcast episodes, which is fantastic. You'll really build a really strong community who really love you. So I'm going to be using 4 tools today. I'm going to show you, demo how I use them, and they're really quite easy. Podcasting can really get people overwhelmed and stuck in a rut. They don't know what to do. So I do use paid tools, and I think they're fantastic and they enable me to do this. I'm going to take you into the first tool. So I upload the video from Restream. So I am actually live using Ecamm Live, which is an amazing software that enables me to bring these videos onto the screen. It enables me to have interviews on the screen. It enables me to have different sounds if I want to, like applause, yay! I put that as a little bit soft. You probably couldn't hear that very well. All sorts of sound effects and wonderful things happening on the screen, like these things called lower thirds and logo and all that sort of stuff. So in order to be able to go live on Twitter and Facebook group, Facebook page, Facebook profile, LinkedIn and YouTube, you can go live in different places on YouTube at the same time, and a whole load of other places. I put the Ecamm Live, I create an event into Restream. The 2 platforms work really easily with no coding or any confusing thing. And I just put it into there. And then when I've done the video, I just find it in the files on my computer. It goes into a particular folder, and I just upload the audio. Now today I just did a really little test, and I uploaded the video from Ecamm into my computer. So I've just got a short video. So now I'm going to take you into my screen. Hopefully you can see this. So let me know if you can see that okay. So this is Restream. So I've got a whole load of projects, we call it, in Descript up here already. And I'm just going to upload my new project. So on the right hand side on the top, there's a blue button, and it says new, and you click on it and you can title your project and put create project. So I'm going to call this test 2 create project. So in the middle of the screen on Descript, it asks you to upload the video that you want to. So I'm going to find it on my computer, the little test video that I did earlier, and it goes into a folder called Ecamm Live Recordings, and I just pull a recording that I want into Descript, and it takes a little while to download that, and it shows you a cute picture of a frog in the middle while it's saying your transcript will be ready in a few minutes. So you can detect the speakers if you want. That's more useful to detect the speakers if you've got you're interviewing somebody or a few people, and if you've got the pro version, because the pro version of Descript is pretty amazing. It can detect your voice, and if you make a mistake in your podcast, in your video, you can actually type in the correct word and it will speak it in your voice, in inverted commas. It can recognize your voice and do a digital voice that really sounds like you, and a lot of people think that they can't tell the difference at all. So now on my screen I've got the title. This is in Descript, test 2. So I'm just going to play this, and it's transcribed my words pretty well. Let's just play it, and it will go through like a karaoke. It will highlight the words. Hi guys, so this is a little recording just for the episode coming up to show you how to take your live videos into a podcast episode. So I'm going to put this into Descript and Alitu and I was going to say Classic FM, my favourite radio station, not that. Captivate FM. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye. Okay, so apologies if you hear the dog in the background. He's just seen a postman, I think. So in that I made 2 ums, which I'd quite like to get rid of. I'm not so worried about saying Classic FM. Whoops, I should have, that's actually quite fun. I leave those things in a podcast, but I'm just going to show you how I delete the ums. So I go to the right of and then just press the delete key and it disappears. So let me just go back a little way. It thought I said Allah rather than Alitu. I might just change that. I don't need to for a podcast recording unless I'm doing a blog, which I do actually try to do. But anyway, let's just play this again. I'd like to know if you can hear this. Descript and Alitu and I was going to say Classic FM. Do you hear that the has completely deleted then? So that is brilliant. And also, if you want to delete other filler words, you can actually press the filler word, and on the left it will show you, would you like to delete filler words? And there's 2 options there. You can just press yes, ignore them all, so basically just delete them all and you can't see them in the script. Or the other one is that it puts the word in the script, but it crosses the word out. There's a horizontal line going through the word, so you can see where your words are, just in case it thinks you've said whatever as a filler word, but actually it isn't a filler word. It didn't understand what you do, and then it's easy for you to see that. And for people watching live, on the bottom of the screen there is the sound file that you can see with the words going off, and you can actually you can split the clips and delete things if you want to there as well. So there's quite a lot that you can do with Descript. But I'm going to say that I'm quite happy with this. So I'm now going to put it into my next piece of software, which is Alitu, and I'm going to build up my episode there. So normally with building up my episode, I will take a little clip that's a really juicy bit from what I've been saying, and I will highlight it. So let's just say that the beginning, this is a recording just for the episode. I'm just highlighting those words. I go into Descript onto share and click it, and then I press export, and I want to export the very beginning or your teaser for your podcast as an audio. So I click audio, and it's doing the current selection that I've chosen, that I've highlighted, and I press export, and I've saved that as a WAV file in my downloads, and it shows me in Descript that it's completed, and I can open that there if I want to. So what I'm going to do now is copy the rest of it, highlight the rest of it, press share, export it as an audio, do exactly the same thing, and I'm going to call this test2b WAV file in downloads. So it shows with a circle going round and round in Descript that it is exporting that, and then you can open it there. So that's really, really good of Descript. It's fantastic. And if I just go back onto the share and export there, you can export these things onto YouTube. You can export it as a text, subtitles, audio, video, GIF. You can make a GIF out of it, and various other things. If you've got Adobe Premiere, Audition, Final Cut Pro, blah blah blah, you can export it like that as well, so that you can make little audiograms. Did I say that? Audiograms. They're really good, but I can't do that at the moment because it takes quite a while. If you're on my Katie Simpson page on Facebook, you will see some of my audiograms there. So that is a little demo of Descript and how I use that and put that into my podcast. So now I'm going to take you over to my here we go. So I'm going to take you over into a program called Alitu. Alitu is fantastic. It is somewhere where you can publish you can sort out and edit your podcast episodes and publish them. So I like the branding in Alitu. It's a purpley colour, which actually is my favourite colour and my main branding colour as well. So I like that. It looks quite jolly. So it's really simple. It looks quite basic. So it doesn't look complicated. So there's a great big purple button on the top of Alitu, which is add an episode. So I just click that because I'm going to make an episode. So it says episode title, and you can fill it in. So I've just put test. And then you can put season number and episode number of your podcast if you like. And then you can put the host name, which can be you or whoever it is. If it was my husband, so I'd put his name there. And then a summary. So this is like, if you listening to a podcast, you see the show notes. So you can put your show notes there, and you can just press the next big purple button, save details. So now it has in the big massive square rectangle in the middle of the screen. Drag and drop your files here. It's so user friendly, this is. So I have uploaded episode 6 of the Thrive with Live show. Well, I've put it onto there. I've dragged it up onto there, and then I press the big green button this time that says upload, and it does take a little while. I delete the ending video from my live video, And I delete the first little bit where I just chat to the audience as well before the professional intro comes in. I just delete that so that you've got a clean start. And then I do all that in Descript, and then I bring it into Alitu, having a little clip at the beginning, the professional intro, then the main part of the podcast, and then a professional outro. It's just processing. People can see on the screen right now, and once it's processed, you'll be able to see how I make up the podcast. So on the screen, it's just showing 3 squares, one on the left, one in the middle, and one on the right. On the left, it says intro music. On the video, it says episode 6 Thrive, which is the main part of the show that I'm uploading. And on the right, it says outro music. So to create a really simple podcast, have some music and a little bit of a voiceover at the beginning saying, "Hi everybody, welcome to my podcast." Then you have your main part of the show. Then you have some music at the end with a voiceover saying, "Thank you so much for listening, bye," etc. So we're going to have a go of this in a second. Right, so it has uploaded now. I'm just going to play it and check. So welcome to the Thrive with Live show. Right, so I can just fast forward on this. It's a very basic editor in here. A bonus tip, but it is all in there. I can hear that. So I'm just going to press on this intro music square, and it says add your music or our free library. They've got loads of free songs in there, but I've got a professional introduction that I use. So I'm going to find my clip, which is Pro Intro, and I'm going to just click add. And now it's changed color, that square. It's now a lovely teal color, and it says Pro Intro. So if I just press the play on there.
This is the Thrive with Live show.
So that's my professional intro. Then I've got the main part of my show, which that you can glow is blah, blah, blah there. And then I'm just going to click on the last square, which is outro music, and it says add your music. So I click there, and I'm just going to find my pro outro and press add. It's so easy to do on Alitu. So now I have an episode, and there's another big purple button on the screen that says preview my episode. Just before that, I'm going to do a bit of a fade off and a fade in for my intro and outro, so that you don't hear the intro and then suddenly you get the main part of the thing and then suddenly it's back again. You've got a bit of a fade. So if I press there's a little circle with wiggly arrows in it, and it shows me a fade out and a fade in transition. So I'm just going to change the transition from one clip to the other, from the intro to the main show. And I'm going to say that I want to fade in and fade out for 3.5 seconds on that transition. And I'm going to do the same sort of thing between the end of my main show and the start of the outro, just so that it sounds a bit seamless without sort of jumping. So then I can press preview my episode. So this can take quite a while, and I chose a clip which was quite long, so this could take quite a while. So while this is doing this, I'm going to just take you into Captivate FM, which is who host my podcast. So on the screen, you can see the Thrive with Live show and some episodes that are coming up. And it shows that I've published all these episodes and the date that I've published them. And then you can do various things with the episode. And their branding is also purple, but it's more pink purple. It's nice branding and it's very easy to use. Captivate FM is as well. There's a big purpley pinky button that says publish new episode. Now I can actually do this all within Alitu. So I could just skip this step completely. And once Alitu has, oh, it is ready. Alitu is ready. Woohoo, with my episode. So I can click, I'm back in Alitu now. I can click their big purple button on my episode that I've called test for the purposes of this live video. And I can click the big purple button that says publish. Now, I don't actually want to publish this live onto Apple Podcasts, but I'm just showing you here how to do it. So on the screen in Alitu, you've now got an enormous purple section in the middle with a waveform. And here is the whole episode, and you can just listen to it and check it out, check that it's all right. And if it is all right and you're using Captivate FM, all you need to do, if you filled in those show notes, if you filled in which season it is, which episode it is, what it's called, you could just publish this straight to Captivate FM by clicking their big green button, publish to Captivate. That's all you need to do, and you just wait a few minutes and it does it. Or you can play it just to check it. So let's just play it.
This.
Blah blah. Yeah, happy with that. So what also I could do is I could create a video. So I could create an audiogram out of my podcast if I wanted to, or I can just download it. So that will download it to my computer. And if I'm not on Captivate FM, if I'm on Anchor FM or wherever you are, there are loads of great podcasting platforms. You can upload it onto there, but this works so seamlessly with Captivate. It's brilliant. So all I need to do is press that green button, wait a while, and then it will say published. So if I just bring you back into Captivate FM, if you don't have Alitu, if you're doing it in other ways, maybe you're doing it straight from Descript into Captivate. Those two platforms work seamlessly together as well. And you just drag and drop your file from your computer. It needs to be an MP3 file. And then you can put your episode title in there. You can put your show notes, the details. You can change the text and things like that and add bullet points and snippets of things. Don't quite know what the snippets are, to be honest. So you can add your show notes in there. You can mark as explicit or not. That's apparently important. And you can put some episode artwork if you want as well, which is recommended if you're going on Apple. And there's all sorts of other things that you can add, and you can put when you want it to be published and save it as a draft. So you can do these before time, and then when you're ready you can publish them when you want. So I hope this has been very helpful and interesting. Let me bring myself back onto the screen. So that is how I get my podcast from my live video. So with this live video, that is what I'm going to do with it. So I don't know whether you noticed, but while I was going through the demo and explaining things, I tried to explain what it looks like so for people on the podcast can see it. And while I'm reading through the script in Descript, I can see things that wouldn't be relevant or interesting or helpful for my podcast listeners, and I can just delete that out. If I have a bit of a brain moment or the dog goes crazy or whatever, I can just edit that out. It's so easy. Maybe something really drastically goes wrong and you need to have a bit of silence. Well, you can add that into the space on Descript. And what's amazing is that you can actually, I haven't worked this bit out yet where you put this, but this is, you can do this on Descript. You can add the right sort of background noise to your blank bit. So if you wanted to add like 1 second of silence for some reason, you can change the background noise so that it sounds like your show and not suddenly, or whatever. So there's all sorts of things that you can do with it. It's really, really great. So those are the tools that I use. I use Restream first of all. I download just the audio, and then even if my show is quite long, an audio just downloads quickly, uploads in Descript quickly, and I can just quickly get on with it. It's really, really good. And while you're in Descript, you could just save your words as text. It won't get everything that you say perfectly right and with the perfect grammar. You will have to fiddle around with it once you're in your Pages or Word software. But you can upload that as a blog, which is really great. You can make it as audiograms, as mini videos if you download the video. So yeah, so Descript is the second platform that I use. So many things you can do with that, and I'm actually using the free version at the moment. It gives you a certain number of minutes upload per month. You'll have to check what it is at the moment, how many minutes you get free, but it's amazing value for nothing. Then you've got Alitu, which is that really easy to use software that edits your podcast. You can't upload your podcast to Apple and whatever from Alitu. It's not a podcast host. It's a very, very easy editing, and I can't remember the word that they call it. It's called something like sampling or something. It just makes really high quality podcast audio without you even having to think about it. All you do is upload it and, you know, take out sections. You can just edit it in there without using Descript if you want, although it does take a bit longer. But they do have that editing tool. You don't have to bother about anything to do with the volumes or the quality, whatever. Just upload it in there. And if you've got Captivate as well, just publish to Captivate from there and it's done. It's done. So the whole process maximum takes me 3 hours. Depends how much I have to take out in Descript and if I'm making it into a blog and things like that. But you can do it in 2 hours time. So guys, I hope this has been really helpful. Next week's will be about green screens. Okay, thanks for listening. Take care and have a great day. Bye.